Good evening. It's about 6:30 and you join us from Cardiff, where people are protesting against Donald Trump's state visit. There are a good few hundred people here. I think you saw in earlier there are people gathered in London as well and up and down the country. I know certainly I've just come from Bristol. There were people gathering there. If you've got any questions, please do post them in the comments box below and I will try and answer them for you. Let's go and speak to a few people though. You can see they are starting to protest pretty loud and clear here. Let's go over to this table. Just talk me through, why are you protesting here today?
We're ultimately, Parliament were debating Trump's state visit today. There was the petition that's gone around where I think about 1.8 million people signed it. We don't think we should be inviting someone who's putting forward that kind of neo-fascist agenda to Britain on a state visit. Obama didn't get invited until 2011. Trump, whilst we can see the point he should be allowed to enter in his capacity as president, we don't think he should be allowed on a state visit. And we also need to send a message against the rise of this far-right ideology. On the way down here, I saw loads of National Action stickers, which are like a neo-Nazi group.
But what do you say to people who perhaps think we should be welcoming him because we need to make friends now that we're leaving the European Union?
Well, we think, okay, we should be making friends. We do need to be looking for a way to stabilise ourselves after we leave. But this is a man who is trying to pass a Muslim ban. This is a man who has put white supremacists in his cabinet, in the way he runs things. We don't think we should be embracing a man whose whole platform has been based on misogyny, racism and hate. We don't feel like that's a message to send the world. We think we should be sending a message of welcome. And we're completely against Theresa May, thinking because of this Brexit train, we should be going into the arms of a bigot.
Thank you very much. We're going to move away because we can't hear too much. Gather over this way because it's pretty noisy, as you can see, and pretty busy as well. As I was saying, this protest up and down the country was sparked obviously because Donald Trump had this immigration ban. Certain people from certain countries weren't allowed into the country and people are protesting against that. And here in Cardiff, that's why people have turned out today. Please do keep questions coming in to me. We're going to mingle through the crowds. Always fun to get involved in the middle of a protest. Can we squeeze through ladies here? You're here today. Why have you turned out? You're live on Sky News Facebook.
Oh gosh, okay. Well, we work with a grassroots group called Cardiff FB Sanctuary Support, as does Anna.
So why are you here?
Well, because Trump is a really divisive influence and just a really dangerous, scary and unstable character. And yeah, we're a refugee support group, so the Muslim ban obviously affects a load of people who were claiming asylum and had hope for the first time in years, and then it was just snatched away from them. And then this week we've seen Theresa May has decided again to stop the DUBS scheme, which is the transfer of unaccompanied children from Europe. So it's just all kind of the same rhetoric of hating foreigners and not having to help refugees, even though we've destabilised a lot of them.
And you say you work for a group for refugees. Have you seen any people directly affected by this?
Me personally, no. We more do kind of fundraising and awareness raising. But I know my friend Sam was in Calais when they were dismantling the camp, and that was really shocking because obviously they said they'd register children, they stopped registering children, they didn't take them to the centres and they just let them sleep in the cold, and refugee children are still sleeping around Calais in like 6 inches of snow today.
Slight separate issue though to Donald Trump, of course.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. But yeah, thank you very much.
That's okay.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. So yeah, you can see lots of people here. We'll just let you take a look at some of the banners that you've got here. Solidarity, not racism. Socialism, not Trumpism. You've got people taking pictures on their mobile phones, filming what's going on here. Like I say, please do keep comments coming in, and I will try and get responses for you. We're going to speak to a few more people. Girls, are you students here?
Yeah.
And why have you turned out today?
I mean, I just think everyone can sit at home and say, I hate Trump, he's sexist, he's racist. It's another thing to come out and actually put those words into action. So we were sick of just speaking, so we're here to do something.
And what do you make of the fact that Theresa May went out there, she was seen holding hands with Donald Trump?
It's just stupid.
Why stupid?
Because, he's just not someone to befriend, in my opinion.
You don't think so? We've got lots of questions coming in at the moment on Facebook. Someone's saying, do you actually think these protests will stop this state visit? Is it going to have any impact?
Personally, I don't know. I will openly say I do not know too much about politics, but I think you see racism, you see bigotry, and you see sexism. And what are you going to do? Are you going to fight it, or are you going to go along with it? So that's why I'm here.
Someone else saying, are you actually planning on demonstrating when he comes to the UK?
We were actually just talking about that, and we're going to try our best to do something with school, but we're going to have to speak to our school first and stuff. So hopefully we can make an impact somehow. So hopefully.
Brilliant. And is this something that's been discussed at school, at college?
No, not yet, but we're hoping to bring it to school soon.
But do people talk about Trump? Has that been a topic of conversation?
I mean, I think it's definitely a student-led agenda. I think, student voices want to be heard. Establishment maybe not so much want to put their agenda out there. But I think students, we've had a lot of discussions. I mean, the day he actually became president or was voted in, I think there was a lot of anger around the school. So hopefully we're going to tap into that. Ooh.
That's okay. Thank you very much. Hit the microphone there, but we're still live with you here. If you're just joining us, we are here in Cardiff where hundreds of people have turned out to this protest. You are obviously watching this Facebook Live. Please do post comments. We'll try and get you answers. Lots of people saying that they are here in response to that immigration ban that Donald Trump issued. Lots of people from various countries blocked from entering the United States, and of course people saying here that he is a divisive president and they do not want him visiting the UK, let alone a state visit. Let's try and go a bit further in, shall we? If my cameraman can shuffle through, we'll try and squeeze in and speak to a few other people. Hello girls, you're live on Facebook. Why have you turned out today?
Well, I've come because I'm a mother of a 3-year-old, and if I needed to go to another country, I would hope people were kind and welcoming and treated me with respect. And I feel that the way things are going at the moment, that's not the way that we are treating people who need our help. It started with Donald Trump in America, and now we have stopped taking in child refugees. We can afford to host a state visit for him, but we can't afford to give the most needy people help and housing when they need it the most.
And how about people that say, well, we need to make friends, we're leaving the European Union, we need trade deals, so that's why we're hosting.
Well, we may well need trade deals, but we don't need it at the expense of people who desperately need our help. We don't need to suck up to the playground bully. We should, when people voted to come out of Europe, they said they believed that Britain was strong, so why then do they so desperately need someone like Trump to help them?
And obviously there's been a lot on the political agenda last year and this year, Brexit. Do you think lots of people are talking about Trump? Has that been high on the agenda?
Yeah, I think so. I think everybody's talking about him, really. So, some people for him, some people against him. I mean, of course.
A lot of noise now. Do you think this will actually make a difference? Do you think they'll stop him coming?
Well, I think it's important that the people like us just make our voices heard and say, well, we don't stand for what he stands for, and it's important for us to make our voices heard.
We got some comments on Facebook. Laura asks, why are these people turning up to protest about a state visit and not more important things like the NHS?
Well, I care about the NHS as well, but we're here for this. We're just here for this issue today. I am concerned about the NHS, and if there were a protest about that, I would be here as well, saying that we should fund the NHS more. Yes.
Solidarity. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, I'll let you take part. We're just trying to shimmy our way through the crowds here to speak to different people. The majority say that they find that President Donald Trump is a divisive character, many describing him as having racist views. That, of course, in response to the immigration ban that he's implemented. We'll try and speak to a few more people here, lots of ladies. We'll try and speak to this gentleman in front if I can. Excuse me, can I just ask you, we're live on Sky News Facebook.
Yes.
Why are you here? Why have you turned out?
Because I feel it's really important that we don't just let it drop. They're absolutely outraged by Trump, and it's great to see people motivated and mobilised for once. For a long time, for many years, we haven't seen this sort of thing, so fantastic. Yeah.
And how did this one kind of gain popularity? Who organised it?
Through Facebook. I'm not really sure, actually. It was all over Facebook, so I've been encouraging my children, but they haven't come yet.
They're at home, are they, in the warm?
No, actually, they're at different universities, but not in Cardiff. Yeah.
There we go. All right, we'll let you get on.
Okay.
Well, I will let you go there because we've pretty much had our time up, but you can see a flavour of what things are like here in Cardiff. Hundreds of people, it's certainly very busy. I think we're going to start moving in a moment, but of course all across the UK these protests are taking place. We've seen in London earlier on many people there as MPs are debating this petition that's now gained almost 2 million signatures in Parliament, and that petition calling on Theresa May to call off President Donald Trump's state visit. People saying that he is a divisive character and he shouldn't be allowed one. But you've been watching a Facebook Live. Thank you ever so much for joining us. Thank you for all your questions. Please do tune in on television because we'll have plenty more from this protest here in Cardiff from 7 o'clock tonight. And of course, don't forget the live blog over on the Sky News website. Thanks very much.